And I guess some bystanders tackled him or something that I can recall. But I can't even imagine that leaving a 2-year-old on the expressway like that and just running away. That was on top of what happened to us. But
okay, just give me 1 second here and I'll get my bearings and we'll go from there. All right, so again, I have 3 cases. I have people against Jeremy Javon Christian, 21B139004. That is from a date of June the 13th of 21. There was a no contest plea tendered on 8/17 of 22 to resist and obstruct an officer. Then I have the reckless driving charge that happened on June the 13th of 21. And again, on August the 17th of 22, defendant pled no contest to reckless driving. And then I also have here a violation of probation on an operating while impaired charge, which the defendant was sentenced on back on March the 17th of 21, I believe. Yes, March the 17th of 21, and then did not show up for a probation violation hearing on September 8th of 21. So I can take them in whatever order you want to go.
Yeah, if the court wants to start with the reckless driving,
We'll do that. And the resist and obstruct. So everybody can state their names, please. Your name, Mr. Gaith?
Good morning, Judge. Nice to get from back, Mr. Christian. Christian, state your full name.
Christian.
All right, your names, please.
Diane Barbarich.
Lawrence Barbarich.
Adam Barbarich.
All right, so the June 13, 21 incident, there was a no contest plea and they failed to appear for sentencing at least once or twice. And so we haven't had them here, but at any rate, I did not order on that
The PSI.
I didn't order a PSI, I don't believe. So I just set a sex date so the victims could be notified. They were, and then it looked like he came in on August the 31st, but left. And then I had him set it in person, and I made a note that Diane and Lawrence Barbarich were here. Be sure they were notified September 14 of 22. And then again, he didn't show up for sentencing. So that's where we are with it. I've read the report. I'm talking about the police report. Have you?
Yeah.
All right. Anything you'd like to say?
Judge, Mr. Christian at that time had become homeless. He was homeless from 22 through 25. He was laid off. And then he ended up, there was an incident in which he was shot in the hand and he became disabled for 6 months and unable to work. Then he became laid off and actually just went back to work about a month ago at Chrysler. He does have an 8-year-old child that he shares custody with the mother. And he was financially responsible for that child, Judge. And between his lack of stable residence and everything else that can go on, I believe that's the reason why he had missed and failed to appear in that direction.
Okay. Anything else?
Just that, at the time that he took the plea, obviously, looking back now, I know it did indicate that he would maybe have pled differently, but I did advise him that we're at this point now and we need to move forward.
What I mean, I don't know what he means by that. They got him going over 100 miles an hour and rear-ending a vehicle, an Impala. I mean, you know what? Anyway, all right. Anything you'd like to say? Anything either one of you would like to say? Let's start with you, Adam. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say it almost just feels like a miracle that we're alive. Because, I mean, I was sitting in the back seat when it happened, and I was like 16 at the time. And we were coming back from a long weekend of baseball, and we're all tired, and we're just trying to get home, have a 3-hour drive. And we're just driving in like one of the middle lanes. Maybe it's like a 4-lane highway. And I'm on my phone, just kind of leaned over in the back passenger seat. And then all of a sudden, it's just big bang. And it just felt like we were spinning forever, just spinning on the road. And I don't know how we didn't get hit. It just feels like a miracle to me. And we went across, you know, it was a lot of traffic. We went across the whole lanes and slammed into the median. And I was scared for my parents' lives. I was fine. You know, the first thing I asked is, are they okay? And I think they hit their heads, but they were fine. Everybody was just kind of dazed. And the first thing I thought was trying to get out of the car, but our car, the door that I was by wouldn't open. So I had to get out of the door that was kind of against the median and squeeze out. And the car was just absolutely crushed. And made sure my parents could get out. And we got out, and first thing I noticed, I look at the car, and the tire was catching on fire. And I was able to put it out before it caught the whole car on fire. And, it's just like these little things like this. It's just a miracle to me, and makes me look at life completely different now. And I had no idea what happened. And we had people coming up to us, and they were saying that, this guy hit us. He was speeding down the road for miles. They knew they were going to hit somebody. And then they said he went off the road, further up the road, and somebody said that they had a kid in the back of the seat. I couldn't believe what was going on. And he took off on foot. But I mean, I don't know what to believe or anything. I was just lucky to be alive, and my parents were safe. And that's all I pretty much have to say.
Mr. and Mrs. Barberich, would either one of you or both of you like to speak?
What does no contest mean exactly?
No contest essentially has the same effect as a guilty plea, but what it does is there's certain circumstances that it's appropriate to take a no contest plea in, and that is if there's a possibility the defendant can be sued, or if there is, which there certainly would appear to have been here, nobody really quite knew what the injuries were, but he's driving over 100, they said, and I just heard what your son said. And then the other one is if they don't have a recollection due to intoxication or drug use or whatever the case may be. But it has the same effect as a guilty plea. Instead of the judge asking the defendant questions, in this case, I would have reviewed the police report and made a determination based on that, because we have to make sure when somebody pleads to anything that there's a valid basis for the plea, what we call a factual basis.
Okay.
So do you want to say anything else?
I'm just curious why he was driving so fast, like with a child in the car. That's, I mean, as a mother,
I understand. Sir, do you want to say anything?
Yes, sir. I'm a retired Detroit fireman, 35 years. I retired as a battalion chief. I've seen a lot of horrible things. And when that happened, I thought it was over, and I was afraid. I was afraid to look in the back seat at my son. And I'm just thank the Lord everything's okay. That's all I gotta say.
Does anybody have any out-of-pocket expenses? Anything you had to pay for that was not covered by insurance?
No,
I mean, just a few days lost of work, but
um,
that's, I mean,
If
Well,
you lost any wages,
the copay or whatever for the deductible, I don't know. That's,
well, I mean, if you have any out of pocket, I can't order wage loss because that was recoverable through your own insurance carrier, believe it or not.
yeah,
Even though he was completely at fault. But I'm gonna let you two think about it and young Mr. Barbarich, and I wanna do all of these at the same time. So we have on the operating while impaired, I've got multiple violations. Failure to attend the scheduled probation visit on August 18 to 21. Failure to attend the victim's impact panel. Failure to attend the court work program on August 4 of 21. Failure to pay fines and costs as ordered. Failure to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs, testing positive for alcohol on August 3. Failing to clear all warrants. Failing to provide verification of attending AA twice a week until an IOP, and failure to provide verification of attending and completing outpatient treatment. So I'd like to either have a hearing on those or take a plea on those, whatever he fancies. So how's he going to proceed on that?
You can't take a plea.
Is that what you want to do, sir? Since you absconded, you could get 93 days here. Do you understand that? You got to keep your voice up for me. You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty, calling Bell. By a preponderance of the evidence, you have the right to question their witnesses, bring in your own, use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses, and the testifier remain silent. If you remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. By pleading guilty, you're giving up all those rights, and we are not going to have a hearing. You understand that? Any questions before I ask you how you plead on these?
No, sir.
As to count one, that you failed to attend your scheduled probation visit on August the 18th, 21, how do you plead?
Yes,
Did you fail to attend your probation visit on that day?
yes, sir.
Count two, that you failed to attend the victim's impact panel, how do you plead?
Yes.
You failed to attend the victim's impact panel.
No.
You went to the
Oh,
victim.
yes.
Not when it was assigned, Doug, but he did make it up. But at the time, yes, he did fail.
Did you fail to attend back when you were on probation? Or in that time frame when you were given?
Yes.
To count three, that you failed to attend the court work program on August the 4th of 21, how do you plead?
Yes.
You failed to attend the court work program on that date.
Yes.
To the charge you failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered, how do you plead?
Yes.
Failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered.
Yes.
Count five, that you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol, testing positive
Yes.
on August 3 of 21, how do you plead?
Yes.
Did you consume alcohol, say within the 3 days before that test?
Yes.
And count six, that you failed to clear all your warrants, how do you plead?
Yes.
Count seven, that you failed to provide verification of attending AA twice a week until an outpatient, how do you plead?
Yes.
Count eight, that you failed to provide verification of attending and completing intensive outpatient treatment, how do you plead? Did you fail to attend outpatient treatment?
Yeah.
Did you fail to clear all your warrants? Did you fail to attend AA twice a week until an outpatient?
Yeah.
Intensive outpatient. Anybody force you to plead guilty? Anybody promise you to induce you to plead guilty? Please accept all 8 counts. Heather, I need to know how much he owes on those now.
On his probation case, he has a balance of $813.
All right, now I'm going to ask, and again, all of these would be deemed non-technical since you absconded. So you got 8 non-technical violations. Is there anything you'd like to say
Judge,
on any of these?
with regard to count two, failure to complete the victim impact panel, he did complete that in July of 24. And then as far as the count three, he did complete that also in 2024. He doesn't know exactly when. With regard to count four, the issue with the unpaid balance, There is a bond posted against this case, Judge, that will hopefully clear up a majority of the outstanding balance. With regard to count 5, he's pleading guilty as charged with regard to the positive test and the alcohol. With regard to count 6, Judge, the warrants, according to Mr. Christian, he's cleared the majority of them. He believes he does have 2 or 3 or 4 that are left outstanding. And that's only been a financial issue because he hasn't worked. He's only been back for like a month. With regard to counts 7 and 8, he wasn't able to get into the outpatient treatment program because his insurance wouldn't cover it. And again, Judge, financially, he wasn't able to afford to pay for that out of pocket. He's trying to make up for whatever he was able to do now. But again, Judge, mainly it wasn't so much him funding his own support other than his being financially unable to pay for these and get them cleared. It was a financial issue.
Anything you'd like to say?
And I'm still currently actively trying to get taken care of, my life, as far as my license. I'm trying to get my license back, but I can't get my license back because of directed driving to the year. It's the only suspension that's holding me back from getting my license. So I've talked to Secretary of State about getting handling that, and the other activities that I have are for a driver's suspended license. So once I get my license, you go back in, try to see what you have.
Well, Janine,
Elizabeth Washington.
anything you'd like to say?
Yes, Your Honor, and I might be able to offer up at least a little bit of clarification, maybe even some help from Mr. Christian. So he was in front of Judge Heston. I don't know if this was already addressed, but he was in front of Judge Heston July 11th of 24. She reiterated bond conditions. He did come down to probation on July 11th. I re-instructed him in regards to his treatment, chemical testing, and I did schedule him for 3 days on the court work program. He was instructed on 12-step meetings at the time as well. So as of that time frame, he was given a court date then to come back August 28th. He absconded and the bench warrant was reissued. Between that July 11th date and August 28th, Mr. Christian did do the 3 days on the court work program.
Was she talking about, I see that she was the one at one point that arraigned him on this charge, these charges. Was that court work that she told him to do, was that on these cases or was it on a case in front of her?
Not on a case in front of her. This was addressing her bond on the probation case, which would have been this one here. Judge Heston will often reiterate probation terms as part of bond. And she ordered the 3 days on the court work program because those were the days he had remaining out of the 4 that he was to attend.
He had gone to one before that?
He had done one on August 4th, 21.
So he actually has 5 days credit coming on these.
He has 4 as far as court work.
Plus the 1 day credit for the arrest.
He did show for 1 chemical test after bond. He was positive for marijuana, negative for all other substances. But absolutely no proof in regards to victims impact panel, 12-step meetings, or treatment.
Judge, he does have the certificate of completion for the victim impact panel.
Okay. Do you have that with you, sir?
It's in my phone, I have a login, so I have.
I'll take it your word on that.
See.
No, I'll believe you. Folks, would you like to say anything else? Yeah, you could say something to them.
To you, I'm sorry about the event that happened. It was very foolish on my behalf. And since then, I've learned I know I do it. I had a younger child at the time, and I understand the pain, clearly younger child. I just want to say that I'm sorry.
Where are you going to school at, young man?
University of Northwestern Ohio.
Well, what are you studying?
I'm actually doing 2 degrees. I have automotive and high performance technology and then hybrid and electric vehicles.
Good for you. Anything else anybody wants to say over here?
Yes, sir. On top of what happened to us, the defendant, he had a 2-year-old in the car, in the back seat, and he ran from the scene. I was told by civilian, bystanders. And I guess some bystanders tackled him or something that I can recall, but I can't even imagine that, leaving a 2-year-old on the expressway like that and just running away. That was on top of what happened to us, but I just wanted to say that too.
Judge, I want to correct the record. Actually, his child, when he left, he wasn't running from the scene, Judge. He actually took him and they went into the ambulance and they were taken to the hospital. So I don't know where the information came from, but he was tackled. He actually went to the emergency responders and actually got in the ambulance with his child. And they were transported to the hospital.
Okay, so I want everybody to understand, unless somebody speaks up and says, Judge, we have this much coming in restitution, I'm not going to order any. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking to the victims.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, and you understand that, young man and Mrs. Barbarich?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what to say to you, Mr. Christian. There's a whole lot of issues I have with your conduct, your failure to appear, your failure to show any respect for the court. And the more I look at this, and the more I think about this, I mean, this is laughable talking about whether or not you get another day off or you have to wanted to wait till May if I was going to adjourn it past today because of a vacation or lack thereof, vacation time. You can't do this. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. You're driving around with a 2-year-old in the vehicle and you're acting like a maniac. And I could see the terror on their face just looking at them. And then you blow us off with probation, like I'm the kind that's going to put up with that. You blew us off, sir, and you got a big price to pay here today. I'm not going to assess any fines on the resisting obstructing officer. I'm not going to assess any fines on the reckless driving. I'm simply going to give the defendant 15 days jail on the resist and obstruct, and that will run with concurrent with 21B138482A. I'm going to give the defendant 45 days jail on the reckless, and that will run concurrent with 21B138482A. On the operating while impaired, I'm revoking your probation. You're to pay costs in the amount of $800 and serve 93 days, credit 5 for 88. If you pay 800, so if you get somebody to bring up 800 or sign over their bonds, that will suspend 18 of the 88 and you'll only have to serve 70. But you're in custody for 70, you pay 800. They will all run concurrent, Heather. Yep. You pay 800, you'll be out in 70. Otherwise, you're going to be in for 88.
So I'll be out in 70.
70. You have 21 days to appeal. You have 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. Do you understand that? Yeah, we're going to let you make a phone call. I'll let you. There's nothing I'm going to do. You spat on the court. You drove like a maniac. There is nothing I am going to do to change my mind. The only thing I could do or would do if I could is call the legislature and tell them to retroactively make this a lot more serious, because I'm only giving you that because that's all I can give you. There's nothing I'm going to do to change, you're going to do to change my mind. So I'm going to ask you not to speak. You can talk to a lawyer on appeal if you want. You can't blow off courts for 3-4 years, and you just can't do that. So there's nothing else. Have a seat. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Have a good day. And I wish you all well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck, young man. Study hard. Don't run against me, though.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks a lot. Lizzie. Thanks.